Hello and welcome to the Plant-Based Revolution podcast with your host, myself, Neil Damrell from My Lifestyle Coach. Again, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to me today. Hope you guys have been enjoying the recent podcast, and then feel free to post a review on iTunes, get in touch through social media and let us know how you're getting on. I'd love to know your feedback, and if we can engage in any more content that will be more tailored to you guys. If you've got any questions, then we hopefully can add those to a podcast, answer those in the future. Today's podcast, I'm just going to talk to you briefly about the 7 diet mistakes that make you fat. So a lot of people wonder why they can't lose weight. They're going on a diet all the time, but nothing really changes. So I just want to focus on 7 key factors that you need to focus on that will help you to lose weight. And also, if you're doing these 7 key things, they may be the 7 mistakes that you're making to why you're not losing weight. So number 1 is that you're trying too many diets. So you or a friend may have heard of the latest fad diet. It comes around every new year. The latest quick fix, quick shake, and all this is doing is creating a constant state of flux between what you can and cannot eat. You're always worried about certain food groups, and over time, you fall off the wagon. So, because your body's always in a constant imbalance, this is causing your body to be imbalanced, which is causing problems with your metabolism. So, inevitably, what you're going to find after being on a diet for a while, you're going to fall off the wagon, and then you're going to start going back to eating normally, and generally you're going to be piling on more weight than you did in the first place. Research has shown that you're more likely to gain more weight after coming off a diet, especially if you're on a really calorie restricted diet, such as maybe a shake, twice a day, because all you're thinking about the food that you can't have. So when you go back to eating the foods that you can have, the body's going to absorb them a lot quicker, but also you're probably going to overcompensate for what you haven't had over the weeks that you haven't been consuming a normal balanced diet. So always focus on energy balance, focus on monitoring your calories, and just have a small calorie deficit per day to help you lose weight on a daily basis, but something that's sustainable, maybe 200 to 500 calories a day deficit. Start small, build up gradually, just as you would do if you're going to go and run a marathon. You're not going to go and run 26 miles the next day. You're going to train your body to run 1 mile at a time and increase those miles week after week. So it's best to just try and cut down little by little each week, having a little bit less on your plate, changing those snack options over, so you're cutting those calories gradually rather than just going straight into a really big calorie deficit diet and struggling after 1 or 2 weeks and then falling off the wagon. Number 2, you tend to think too much about being overweight. So if you're always thinking about you're being overweight, you cannot lose the weight, this is creating more stress within the body. So mentally, stress is a big issue, and if you're always thinking about this, then stress causes the fat to release hormones that increases your appetite and also decreases your metabolism, meaning that your diet, to be successful, you need to think positively. You need to focus on what you are achieving rather than constantly thinking to yourself what you're not achieving, because we all have been there. We go to food as a comfort. So if you're thinking negatively, you're going to keep reaching for those foods as a comfort, which in turn is going to cause you to overeat and also choose the wrong foods as well. So think positively, surround yourself with people that are going to help you lose weight. Research has shown as well that we are the reflection of the 5 people we spend most of our time with. So if you are surrounding yourself with people that generally consume bad foods a lot of the time, then 9 times out of 10 probably you're going to be influenced by them, as opposed to trying to go for a healthy alternative. So if you can surround yourself with people that want to eat healthy, want to lose weight, want to focus on, being active, then you're going to be in that environment which is going to feed your positivity, is going to encourage you to be more active, as it would do if you're just trying to succeed on your own. It's always a lot tougher when you're on your own. So try and get some support around you. That should help going forward. You're also, number 3, so you could also be eating a lot of hidden sugars. So you see loads of products on the market these days which promote themselves still as low fat. So you automatically think they're going to be healthy for you. A yogurt is a good example. You go for a fat-free yogurt, but it's been laden with sugar, because obviously all the fat is taken away, all the flavour. So the sugars were in there to replace the flavour. So you may think that you're having a healthy yogurt, for your breakfast, for example, but you're actually consuming loads of sugar, which in turn is going to cause you to still increase the calories in your diet as well. So, and also you're going to have more because obviously there's less fat, so you're going to crave more. There isn't enough fat to fill you up. So best thing to do is go for full fat yogurt, and look at just flavouring that maybe with some honey, or look at have some natural sugars such as blueberries, bananas, fruits, really good. Just try and flavour it naturally, so that way you're knowing what kind of sugar's going in to your meal, as opposed to being all those hidden sugars that you can be unaware of and consume sort of unconsciously when you're consuming it. Number 4, you may skip breakfast. So a lot of time we're in a rush in the mornings, so a lot of people forget they need to have a good breakfast inside them, grab something quick on the go. But the problem is this, that because we fasted overnight, our sugar levels are generally going to be quite low. Fasting overnight and fasting in the morning is actually a good way of losing weight, but that'll be another topic for another time in terms of looking at intermittent fasting. You need to be very disciplined if you're going to be doing that. But generally, if you're going to have breakfast, that will fill you up till lunchtime if you have a good breakfast. So go for some porridge, slow releasing oats, which will have a slow releasing low GI index, which will release insulin gradually throughout the day, so you should feel relatively full till lunchtime, and full enough to know that you can get away with just a bit of water or a healthy snack like a piece of fruit, as opposed to having really low sugar levels. And generally when your sugars are really low, you're just craving the high calorie fatty foods, high sugar foods, just to kind of pick up some energy deficit in the body. I experienced this yesterday after the gym. I went to the supermarket afterwards, and I couldn't think straight. I did get a couple of energy bars, protein bars, which kind of helped, but it was really difficult to try and focus on what I wanted to actually get food-wise. I knew I had to do a shop, but in the end, I had to sack it off and have to make a list and go when I've got more energy, because there was no chance of me picking the right choices. I would have definitely gone for what was convenient, what was easy, just to give me a bit of a pick-up for the afternoon. So, get a good breakfast inside you. That should help prevent food cravings throughout the day, and then you're not going to go for those high calorific snacks in mid-morning. Number 5, so you could rely too heavily on soft drinks. So diet soft drinks have long been seen as a way for people to enjoy their favourite sugar-filled drinks, sort of guilt-free really. So we see in these adverts, Diet Coke adverts rather than Coke. A lot of women drink them. It's promoted maybe towards the female market, but currently research has shown that because of the artificial sweeteners like aspartame that's commonly found in these drinks, that potentially can lead to the release of higher amounts of hunger-causing hormones such as insulin and leptin, which in turn is going to increase food cravings. So while you're drinking this, what you may feel is a guilt-free drink, you're actually increasing your food cravings, which in turn, while drinking this, you still may be snacking on those high-fat, high-sugary snacks because of the increase in appetite, because of these diet soft drinks, or you might be just consuming more diet soft drinks. So definitely go for water, and try and sort of cut down on those, and just, generally if you're dehydrated throughout the day, you want to be refueling on more sort of water as opposed to loads of soft drinks, because the sugar is not great for your health, and also it's not great for your food hygiene or your teeth hygiene as well. So always go for something more natural. It should be a lot better for you. Number 6, so you don't exercise. So you all know generally 80% of what you achieve in terms of when you want to lose weight, gain weight, for example, has to come from your diet. But without exercise, you are going to reduce your chances of losing weight efficiently and also maintaining that weight loss. It's important to exercise because what that will do, increase the amount of muscle within the body. When the body has more muscle, it actually burns more calories at rest, so it actually speeds up the body's metabolism. So naturally you're going to be burning more calories on a daily basis, as opposed to if you still losing weight on a diet without any exercise and just diet alone. So if we look at all these healthy athletes, maybe like a sprinter, Usain Bolt for example, they will consume quite a lot of calories throughout the day. They're burning loads of calories because their body is just pretty much pure muscle, very little body fat on them, so the metabolism is very high. You can get away with eating a lot. So they've got a good engine. There's a lot of fuel needed, so that's why they can get away with a lot more food. So as you lose weight and gain more muscle, you'll find that you'll be able to maintain that weight loss a lot longer, as opposed to if you were just trying to lose weight on the diet alone. So exercise is great for your cardiovascular health as well. It's really good for your mental well-being at the same time. So all those other benefits, as well as helping you lose weight, is an essential tool and why essential reason why you should be exercising on a daily basis. It's great to socialise in a sort of exercise environment, go to exercise classes as well. So definitely try and incorporate some form of physical activity into your daily habits if you can. And then finally, number 7, you let food cravings ruin your diet. So we've all been there. We've all kind of maybe spoke to someone and they've just had a piece of cake they've had in the office, and then decided that I may have another one because I've had one, so I've ruined my diet already, so I might as well have another 2 slices of cake. Well, in fact, that one slice was probably been okay if you'd have maintained a nice healthy balance for the rest of the day. So rather than being so hard on yourself and being in a bad mindset where you've had one biscuit, so you might as well have a whole packet, and undo all that good work that you've done throughout the day, you need to focus on, as long as you're in a calorie deficit throughout the day, you can get away with a slice of cake or a couple of biscuits. If your calorie intake recommendation is roughly 2,000 calories a day, and you have a slice of cake which is maybe 200 calories, then just account that into what you should eat for the rest of the day, and maybe cut down on what you're going to eat for tea, so you're in calorie deficit and you're not going over your 2,000 calorie limit. So as long as you're aware of that and you're consciously aware of where your calories are coming from, then having a little treat, having a glass of wine, should no way impact how you're going to lose weight long term. Alternatively, if you focus on the negatives, that one piece is bad, and then you just overcompensate and sort of harden yourself, then that obviously is going to be in a vicious cycle that you want to try and get out of, because you need to be in a positive mindset to achieve weight long term. So achieve that weight loss long term. So there are your 7 diet mistakes that you could be making if you want to lose weight, if you want to shift some body fat. Hopefully they've been helpful for you today. This is a short little episode for you guys. And again, I really appreciate everybody listening. And if you'd like a shout out on the next podcast, then please head over to iTunes, write a review. I'd love to know your feedback. And if you do write a review, then I can give you a shout out on the next episode. And if you have any topics that you'd like me to cover, then get in touch. All the Contact details for any social media outlets will be in the description to the podcast, where you can get in touch. So I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, thank you.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.